Cyberpunk 2077 has a big lie. There is no way the casual player has any idea about it. It is so obvious once you begin putting the pieces together, but how could the average player when they're just along for the journey in the game? I didn't notice it at all in my first playthrough, and I'm a lore guy. What I'm talking about are Johnny's memories. They are not historically accurate. There are a few layers to this deception that many players would have no idea about if they didn't dig deep into the lore and read into all the shards in the game, and then the lore established outside the game. Okay, we know Johnny Silverhand to be a massive narcissist.
Listen, I realize I fucked up a lot of things. Either let down or used every last person who gave me their trust. Blind, selfish bastard that I was. But I've managed one thing for now. Not to fuck this up, what we have.
He is a self-centered person that has ruined every relationship he has ever had. By knowing this, we can see his memories in a new light. Johnny's retellings are far off from the truth. What players play in-game and see is how Johnny recalls his memories, which are not always reliable sources of information. Once I learned about a key sequence that didn't happen at all, it blew my mind.
Shit, that's Adam Smasher. Johnny, run!
Murphy?
Door's sealed, but it won't hold for long. Run, Johnny, like the wind.
Johnny, move! Smasher.
Told you, Johnny boy. Told you I'd end you someday.
Johnny exaggerated his skills and created this whole scenario of the fight with Adam Smasher. Now, guess what makes things even more complicated? Johnny Silverhand is an engram, a piece of code, a program made to copy his personality. This isn't even the real Johnny Silverhand that we are interacting with all game. Arasaka had full access to edit anything inside Johnny's engram or his mind. Arasaka does in fact alter Johnny's engram, as you will see shortly. What players witness is Johnny's version of the truth. In Johnny's mind, he's the main character and everything revolves around him. How these stories are replayed are completely changed based on his perceptions of the memory. So what really happens? First, you need to know about the greatest legend in Cyberpunk's world. Morgan Blackhand is the ultimate solo in the Cyberpunk lore. Much like Edge Runners in Cyberpunk are titles and accolades of the biggest legends in the world, solos are referred to as a different breed. One-person armies, none better at their job than Morgan Blackhand. CD Projekt Red has discussed how their lore for the game isn't as straightforward as other games might be. Everyone, every person, every character in Night City has a spin on the truth. Now let's discuss the information from outside the game. The creator of the Cyberpunk tabletop role-playing game, Mike Pondsmith, was reluctant to give the game studio all of his IP for reasons we may never know, but I can certainly speculate that the author was probably hedging his bets before seeing what a game developer would do with his property. One character he did not allow for Cyberpunk 2077 to go crazy with was Morgan Blackhand. In-game, the references to Blackhand are sparse and shrouded in mystery. In real life, Mike Pondsmith has publicly stated that the character he played during his TTRPG was Morgan Blackhand, and that is one of his favorite characters. This character was so special to the author and has become intertwined with all the lore of Cyberpunk 2077's universe. How come we never really hear about him more? And how does this have to do with anything about Johnny's memories lying to us? Well, according to
The World Cyberpunk 2077, published by CD Projekt Red, Firestorm Shockwave, The Fourth Corporate War, Book 2 Sourcebook, and Cyberpunk Red Sourcebook. Ugh!
We know Morgan Blackhand was part of the Arasaka Tower raid with Johnny. Morgan Blackhand had a second crew, speculated to be Militech soldiers storming the Arasaka Tower at the same time as a coordinated assault. Further evidence suggests the bombs Johnny had were not nukes at all. Morgan Blackhand had the nuke from Militech. The operation was a corporate war mission that had saving Alt Cunningham as a secondary objective, not the main one. The plan was for the nuke to be detonated at the bottom floor of Arasaka Tower to collapse the building, but cause no fallout.
So, you might be wondering, is Reed losing his mind slowly with his theory? Yes, I am. So, how does this any make sense? Well, there is a very awesome post by SulkX on the Cyberpunk 2077 Reddit. While I was doing all my research for this, I went and stumbled across this absolutely brilliant post. And as he has cited so much excellent sources, I will definitely put that in the link below so you can check it out for yourself. But his big theory, which I really, really like, is these are a merging of memories between Johnny and Morgan Blackhand. Oh, that's why we had to introduce him the whole time. Oh, well, guess what? In my research, while I was reading all the different source books, even what I've already shown you from Firestorm is actually different from what has been written in Cyberpunk Red. There's been more paragraphs added that helps give credence to SulkX's theory that both Johnny and Morgan Blackhand's memories are merging. But we'll get back to that in just a second. Just keep that in mind.
When it went off, the fallout was devastating, sending Night City into chaos. Both Arasaka and Militech pushed their propaganda in response to the incident to try and take control of the narrative. Oh, good old Megacorps. Arasaka was worried they set off one of their own nukes and were doing damage control, while Militech was worried about being blamed for it. Militech was trying to win the Fourth Corporate War, which they basically did because the US government forced Arasaka out of the United States for years, allowing Militech to become the corporate army of the US. This leaves the question, how can we trust the memories we see in game? Video games almost never lie to the player to the level we see in Cyberpunk 2077, and I love it. It is impossible for us to tell what is truth and what is fiction in any of the Engram Johnny's memories. Were they put there by Arasaka? Were they altered by Alt? Did Johnny exaggerate or withhold key details to bolster himself in these recallings? Both Rogue and Alt confirm in-game that what Johnny said didn't happen the way he said it did.
Your death wasn't Johnny's fault.
How could you know?
Seen you in his memories. It was an accident.
What you saw was his subjective view of what happened. A warped account of events he locked away in his subconscious and replayed time and again. It bears no resemblance to the truth.
What we do know is we need to take Johnny's word with a grain of salt. The story is so complex and layered, it makes it so fun to dive into the lore of Cyberpunk 2077.
Did you ever wonder why Atom Smasher didn't understand what V was talking about at the end of the game?
Atom Smasher. I remember you. Promised to kill Silverhand once. Gonna let you in on a little secret. Johnny, he's here with us. Now he can't talk, but I can feel him under my skin.
What the fuck are you talking about?
In the end, gotcha. Silverhand triumphs.
Atom Smasher doesn't have any beef with Johnny Silverhand. His arch enemy was Morgan Blackhand. Inside the source book, Firestorm, it clearly states that Blackhand and Atom Smasher fight on top of the tower, not Johnny. Morgan snaps around and down in a rollout of the AV's open hatch, the heavy assault rifle cradled in his arms.
Oh, damn. Adam, what the hell is he wearing?
One of the massive arms of the power frame Adam is wearing waves a jaunty hello, the bipod clutched, in it shaking about like a child's toy.
Oh, I'm sorry. You probably don't recognize him from this angle. But this is your friend, Shaitan. or what's left of him. I'm afraid Silverhand is in even worse shape. At least the Borg's still alive in here. I'd give him another good, 10 minutes, before the pod battery dies. But to get him, you're gonna have to get to me.
Morgan turns to the AV.
Get the hell out of here now.
Chief, we ain't leaving you here.
You sure as hell are. And you have to make sure Spider and the others get out. Now go. I'll be along in a minute.
He watches the AV lift off, then turns back around. Cocking the rifle, he intones.
All right, Pipsqueak. Time to see if metal really is better than meat. Let's dance.
Now we get into the text and not the cinematics of the source book. As Morgan's group begins its evac after taking out the rooftop laser, Atom Smasher, in the Dai Oni battlesuit, confronts him on the roof. Threatening to destroy Shatan's bipod, Adam forces Morgan into a one-on-one combat on the rooftops of the tower. A running gunfight as Morgan tries to get Adam to drop the pod so he can scoop it up, and Adam tries to get Morgan to sit still long enough to be squashed. As the building begins to shake from the detonation of the nuke, the two from opposite roofs of the tower launch themselves at each other in a last desperate attempt to kill their nemesis. It's clear as day. Atom Smasher and Morgan Blackhand are the rivalry that Johnny's ego manifests in his untrustworthy memories. Look at the memories itself. Johnny gets cut in half with a shotgun blast, but then he magically gets to the top of the tower. He then gets an arm blown off, but then it's magically put back together when they remove him from the tower to take him to Soul Killer and Saburo Arasaka. Except in the source material, we know this raid destroys the Soul Killer project. Nothing's lining up with what the lore actually says. Both Firestorm and Cyberpunk Red, which is a source book that was released around the same time this game launched and was supposed to coincide. Okay, now we need to talk about the differences from Firestorm to CD Red's source book. From Firestorm, it reads, Johnny's dead, Spider. Help me get Thomas out of here. Rogue's eyes speak of certainty and incredible pain, all slammed away behind an iron will to survive. Keep the meat baggage light, Rosh used to say. Spider reaches for the data suitcase, but sees that it, too, has been savaged by gunfire. It's wrecked. She quietly wishes Alt good luck. Spider now. But Johnny will be avenged, Spider thinks to herself as she and Rogue drag the wounded Thompson to the elevator. She softly touches the data chips in her pocket, and so will Rush. As Team Alpha makes its escape, it will be pinned down by Arasaka elite troops, led by Atom Smasher. Most of the Militech red shirts will get cut down in the first volley, and they take refuge in a lab. Spider tries to data dump Alt through her cyber deck with unknown results. Johnny buys the group the opening to take down the Arasaka troops, but gets shot and killed by a burst from Atom Smasher's autocannon. He never has a chance. Shatan grabs Adam from behind as Rogue and Spider escape with Thomas from the lab. If any of the players are with Team Alpha, they can participate, but Johnny must die, and Adam and Shatan must be left alone to battle at the end. Now, Cyberpunk Red reads, Johnny's dead, Spider. Help me get Thomas out of here. Rogue's eyes speak of certainty and incredible pain, all slammed away behind an iron will to survive. Keep the meat baggage light, Rosh used to say. Spider reaches inside her jacket. She pulls out the data slug Alt downloaded to her so long ago. It's surprisingly heavy. She whispers, sorry, Johnny, as she rams it home into the back of the dying rocker's skull. Then she turns, reaches out for the data suitcase, but sees that it too has been savaged by gunfire. It's wrecked. 2 friends down in as many minutes. She quietly wishes Alt good luck. Spider now, but at least Johnny will be avenged, Spider thinks. As she and Rogue drag the wounded Thompson to the elevator, she softly touches the remaining data chips in her pocket, and so will Rosh. I'm probably saying Rosh's name wrong, so I apologize for that. But what now happens, because of this new addition, is it gives credence to Sulk's theory that Spider puts a data chip inside Johnny's dying head, and it merges his personality with the last bits of data of Soul Killer. That's why Arasaka takes that chip out of Johnny, because it's the only copy of Soul Killer that they have left. as I talked about previously, it gets destroyed inside this raid. So how does Arasaka suddenly have Soul Killer again? It's through this chip that gets merged with Johnny's personality. And when they're editing this and getting all the information possible, it stands to reason that when Morgan Blackhand fights Atom Smasher, he loses, is captured by Arasaka, and cuts a deal with them. Arasaka finds that it's way better to keep a living legend solo like Morgan Blackhand alive and to steal all the information they can from him in his memories. Now, some argue that Soul Killer kills the individual. That was an earlier version developed by Alt Cunningham, where Arasaka made improvements to the new version. That Morgan Blackhand is alive, but also a copy of an engram was created. But because it was created off this early version of Soul Killer that was merged with Johnny's personality, this is where the two memories merge and gives credence to so much of what happens in Cyberpunk 2077. It allows the canon to be true because when we see the bomb being dropped in the elevator, when we see Johnny running up the stairs and confronting Atom Smasher, when we see Saburo Arasaka interrogating Johnny, those are Morgan Blackhand's memories. The personality of Johnny has merged this on the engram, distorting the reality in the memories. Or at least that's how the theory goes by Salk, and I think it is a great explanation. I think they're bang on until we get more information with, future sequel games or more books and lore. So what does happen to Johnny's body? Well, we learn about that in the Black Dog story that is added at the end of the CD Red source book. Inside Black Dog, a crew is hired by a hardcore Johnny Silverhand fangirl or groupie named Samantha. She's completely chromed up and used to be a firefighter. She showed up at the scene and she located the bomb that Arasaka had. They had a nuke. And this story confirms this secondary nuke that was on scene that Arasaka was worried about going off and thought that was the trigger when it was only a Militech bomb. Oh no, it's not Arasaka's fault now. But Samantha hires a crew and they take it all the way to Los Alamos, where another character named Angel is able to disarm the bomb. So now nobody's going to get their hands on a very powerful nuclear bomb. But hidden underneath that bomb, inside the package that was delivered, was the body of Johnny Silverhand. So Samantha not only recovered his body, she also took the nuke and hid it in her garage for 15 years after the incident. The Black Dog story goes into even more detail of why Arasaka didn't jump on it per se, but I don't need to get into that for you to get the understanding of the fallout, the changes, and the discrepancies between the game Cyberpunk 2077 and Black Dog, which is part of the Cyberpunk Red source book. These are all canon, and there is no multiverse as has been described by both CD Projekt Red and the writers. In conclusion, I believe this just leads to even more fun and exciting mysteries inside the Cyberpunk 2077 game, and hopefully the sequel we'll see in God knows how many years from now.
Thanks for watching. I hope you did enjoy this video. I have another video that I'm launching with today, and it discusses the psychology of pressing or not pressing the button in video games, specifically talking about two pivotal moments in The Last of Us Part 2 and God of War Ragnarok. I really appreciate you guys giving these videos a chance. Please watch them all the way through to help with the watch time for the YouTube gods, and get ready for more content from me. Thank you, and have an absolutely wonderful day until I see you next. Take care now.